Pseudo-intellectuals. Someone who claims to be super knowledgeable about things, super intelligent about things, or almost everything sometimes. Someone who claims to know pretty much everything, or at least to be knowledgeable about pretty much everything. Claims to have this high intellect about lots of things. When in reality, they are the opposite most of the time. Yeah. In reality, they're not that knowledgeable about the things they're talking about. Half the time, they don't even know what they're talking about. They use overcomplicated big words to make themselves sound smart and make themselves sound like they know what they're talking about, when in reality they don't half the time. Yeah. And most of the time these people always go on and on and on about how smart they are, about how intelligent they are, about how they know all of this stuff that they claim to know. They constantly boast their intelligence 24/7. They never shut the fuck up about how smart they are, how intelligent they are, how much they know. And it's just really, yeah, annoying. And most of the time, these people think they're always right. They think they're always correct. They think they're never wrong about anything. They're always right. They always know everything. And the moment you try to prove them wrong, say that they're wrong, call them out on their bullshit, the moment you try any of that, they get all defensive, they get all combative, they get all pissy and throw tantrums. They start insulting you because they don't want to admit that they're wrong. They don't want to admit that they don't know what they're talking about. Because if they did that, all their claims of this intelligence and knowledge that they have about these things, or lots of things, or everything, or whatever, all these claims of all this intelligence and knowledge was just a lie. And they're not really intelligent. They don't want to admit that they're not this super intellectual person, that they're not super intelligent, that they're not knowledgeable about whatever. They don't want to admit it. They're stubborn and they're annoying. But just as annoying, just equally as annoying, are the pseudo deep people. Now, I used to call these people pseudo philosophers, but the technical term is pseudo deep, at least from what I looked up on the internet. So, yeah. But yeah, a pseudo deep person is someone who tries their hardest or too hard to be deep and meaningful. They try to sound deep and meaningful. They try to say all these deep and meaningful things, when in reality the things that they say aren't really deep at all. They're not really meaningful at all. They're not really thought-provoking like they think they are. Most of the things they say are pretty simple and common and mundane and not really deep in the slightest. And yeah, most of these people are just, they try to fake all this deep stuff. They try to appear to be the most deep person ever, by saying these apparent deep things and meaningful things. They always say stuff like, oh, it makes you think, and, you know, and try to make it sound like the deepest thing ever, but in reality, it's not. It just isn't. In reality, these people are about as deep as the most shallowest puddle ever. And the only thing they're really deep about is how deep inside their own ass they are. Because most of their stuff is just either simple, mundane, common, or sometimes it's completely nonsensical and stupid and doesn't fucking make any sense and isn't. It's just a bunch of pure nonsense that, yeah, isn't really deep. At least not as deep as they think it is. Most of it's just, like I said, simple, common, and sometimes stupid and nonsensical. It doesn't really mean anything. It isn't really thought-provoking. It's just dumb. Yeah. Both those kinds of people are just annoying.